Okay, hello Communication Arts students. Welcome back to Communication 105. If you recall the tutorial on outlining a presentation, you might remember that an introduction serves at least 5 purposes. A lot is writing on the introduction. I'm going to scoot down in the text to the section that is specifically on introductions, and you'll see that it's at the beginning of chapter 12. All right, as an overview, the 5 functions of an introduction are to capture your reader's attention, preview your main points, set the tone, demonstrate the importance of the topic to your audience, and establish credibility. So in the very first purpose, capture your reader's attention, I tried to do that a little bit with sound at the beginning of this. You may be completing this assignment as a podcast, and I want you to know that most podcasts and radio shows begin with the same sound every time, and it syncs up the brain of the listeners, so all of their attention, their brain waves get on the same wave. Okay, so if you use the attention getters correctly, you may be able to satisfy more than one of the 5 purposes of an introduction. So you can refer to the audience, right? This helps the audience remember that they all have something in common. Now, if the audience doesn't know each other individually, personally, you could refer to a weather event. That could, remember the California fires. Instantly, everybody is thinking about the same thing. Okay, you might refer to the occasion. This happens during TED Talks all the time, where the speaker refers to the experience of the TED audience who've spent a lot of money for a ticket to attend an educational event that includes technology. You might want to refer to the relationship between the audience and the subject. Show the audience that even if they were not thinking about it, they probably care about the topic. Consider the following statement for a moment. I am sure no one in this room wants to get cancer. If you said that to a crowd, everyone would be on the same page, thinking, right, I don't want cancer. Instant focus on you and on the topic. Start with something familiar to the audience. This is the fourth strategy. Most of us have pets, we eat meals together. You can rely on certain common experiences, and you might want to bring those to bear. It could be a little tricky in some cases because you do want what you refer to be connected to your topic. You might want to cite a startling fact or an opinion. This is taught in writing courses all the time. Start with a startling piece of information. I would add statistic to this too. So you can start with a startling statistic. You might want to begin with a rhetorical question. Again, this is often taught in writing classes, right? So ask a rhetorical question, one that does not end with an answer of yes or no, but starts the thinking process and starts people imagining answers at the same time. Okay, one of my favorite ways, and again I teach this whenever I teach a writing class, is to begin with an anecdote or a story, right? So when you do this, again, the story should be connected to the topic in some way. And the story has to be brief, like a one-line story, if you can imagine. Keep it short and use it to introduce the topic. So again, the story cannot be divorced from the topic. You might want to turn to a famous person for a great quote. Again, this is often taught in a writing class. And I have to say, it is critical that the quote is connected to the topic of your presentation. And if you're really skillful, you can start with a joke that will make the audience laugh. And the joke must be connected to the topic, plus the joke must be appropriate for the audience. All right, so the next part of your introduction, right, is that you want to make sure that you preview your 3 main points. I'm going to scroll back here and come back up to this. So when you preview your 3 main points, you can be very direct about it. You can say, in this presentation, we're going to cover A, B, and C, and make those very clear and parallel. You also can do it with a little more finesse. I'm going to say a few words about X, and make sure you get those 3 points in. Again, did you ever wonder about, this is again a way that you could get your audience to pay attention. You do want to set the tone, and an appropriate tone. So you don't want to be hilarious up there if you're going to be talking about something dark. Show the audience that the topic is important to them in some way. And last but not least, establish your credibility. And I think you have to establish your credibility throughout the presentation by using quotes that are from good sources, establishing your own connection to the topic, your level of expertise, and your experience. Okay, just to quickly review, you need to grab your audience's attention, you need to preview your 3 main points, you need to set the right tone, you need to establish the importance of your topic, and you need to establish your credibility and figure out a nice way to end your presentation so that everyone knows that it has come to a close. All right, that concludes my presentation. Please take a look at the suggested TED Talk.